Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with my Flair Hut Dottie or Still Dottie About Flair challenge team for September. And these are the things that they asked for us to have: a Cutfile title or thickers, which is what I have, enamel dots, which I have in a bin next to me, washi tape, which is right next to me, pie chart design, which I have in this Vicki Boutin color study, and my Flair. And so I'm actually going to use this some assemblage required combo with some Dottie About Flair slash Flair Hut. It's going to take me a minute to get used to that. I also have this pile of scraps and a few little bits of ephemera left from where I did a Vicki Boutin color study stash bash, but saved out this paper for this specific thing. I plan on matting it on that black paper. And then I have these 4 pictures I've put together on 2 4x6s of my kids in Texas from 2017. So I have all these fun things. This list, the recipe list that we need to get on the layout, my amazing Flair from the Flair Hut, and my great pictures. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I'm going to trim the border or the branding strip off, but I also want to trim this down enough to where I'm going to have a little black border around, because it's going to help this pop. Now, I have just recently stash bashed my Vicki Boutin color study, and in the end of this video I will share with you what I have left. This is the last paper, and I intentionally set it aside because the pie chart was such a big part of this, and I wasn't really sure how else I'd get a pie chart on a layout, although some people have been uber creative. So I'm just putting some double-sided tape down because I'm going to build this to be some mats and use up some of my scraps that are over there to the left. And so I'm just putting a bunch of double-sided tape down, and I'm going to peel all that up, and then I'm going to start laying down my scraps in different ways. So I'm just going to cover the entire base of this 4.5 by 6.5 with some of the strips, some of the cubes, some of the little pieces, just odds and ends, because this is a great way for you, especially when it's all from a collection like this, for you to build a mat that incorporates all the colors that are in your layout. So I just take all the different pieces, and like I said, some of them are big pieces, some of them are thin, and voila! Now I have these 2 really cool background pieces, and I could have matted a 4x6 in that, or I could, like I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these down. 3 of them are 3x3s. One of them I cut a little bit more, but only by like 1/4 of an inch. That one of me and my daughter with the mustaches is like 2 3/4 by 3. So I'm gonna get those matted on those 2 pieces with a pretty thick border so that you can see all the fun and the color in there, because I put them in 3x3 size. I still had a pretty good amount of space to mat them, and I could pick where I wanted to put them on the page on that little 6.5 by 4.5, because then it would have multiple colors all around the border. And I love the way these came out. So it's just an idea for a way to use up some scraps. Now I faff around with this thing for a minute before this right here kind of ends up being my final decision. I tried to kind of cluster them in the middle. It looked ridiculous. Tried to do some like fanning. That didn't look right. So I'm really determined to use this Life is Good. I really want to use this frame, and considered framing a picture, but after I created those really neat backgrounds, I didn't want to cover them up. So I decided to use it on the side, and I'm thinking about my frame and using that as with my title. And of course, this Life is Good, it's not going to fit right. There's like, it'll peek out of a corner here or there. So I'm thinking, I wonder if this card over here would fit to where the words would show through the frame. And so I pull that cut apart, or no, actually that came from the ephemera, and it says do all of the things, which is why I selected these pictures. We went to Texas in 2017. My grandmother had just moved there, and while we were there, we did all the things. These two things right here are the empty sticker sheets from the sticker book from Vicki Boutin's Color Study. I love the look of these. I think they're just so fun. Sometimes sticker packaging does not work like that, but I thought that these were really neat. They had all that color in them, and I just tucked them down where some of the color was going to cooperate and be, similar or the same color family as the one it's laying on. So I'm trying to figure out how to get these pictures down to where they're going to kind of zigzag down, but I don't like that big gap in the middle right there. So I decide I am going to take this frame with the ephemera title and put it right there next to that picture. And I'm going to lose a little bit of that sticker, but I'm okay with that. I just don't want the big gap. And then I'm just going to continue to go back and forth and back and forth. I honestly was a little concerned about how this layout was going to turn out because it was kind of all getting thrown together last minute at midnight. And I absolutely love how this turned out. Now, this pile of little squares, I am in a group called Scrapbooking the Day Away, which is scrapbookingwithanemarie.com. And one of the challenges that we had in the past couple of weeks was to decorate around your picture with shapes. So I cut a bunch of squares out from this collection to do that, and ended up not needing as many as I had. So I decided I would tuck some of those in with the color family, and that would just be a little extra something. So I still have some squares left, but that's okay. I'm putting my two Flair, that one I just put down is like an orangey yellow butterfly, so I put it up there with the orange and yellow. This one down here in the bottom is like a bluey purple color, so I put that down there. So I'm just putting those in places that are close to their color family. And I love them, and I did put them up on Fun Foam. That is the best thing to have to put under there. It makes it work perfectly without giving you too much extra dimension. And I decided I don't do it very often. I usually just love the wood look, but I got out my not delusions, my Tim Holtz distress oxides and the liquids, and I just got a watercolor pen out, and I just stuck it down in the bottle, and I painted my little gnomes. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. I love them. I love how they turned out. I brought some colors in that I thought would go really well with this paper, and I just love how cute they are. I do have one more gnome. I just didn't think I was going to have room for it on my layout, so I decided just to stick with the two. And if I put the red one up here at the top, and then this yellowy colored one down here at the bottom. It's really more orange, but once it's gotten onto the wood, it's a little lighter than that, but that's okay. I could have done it in like a purple, which is down there too, but I really do love how they turned out. They're so cute. And they're not attached right now. Everything else is attached except for that. And I'm going to pull this off of this sticker sheet, and I think this is called One of a Kind. And I decided to title it The Simple Things because really none of what we were doing was extraordinary. It was just fun, little going to dinner, playing a game, shopping at the shops in Tomball. And so I'm bringing in the washi. This is a rainbow washi by Paper Studio, and it actually matched pretty well. So I went ahead and put some down here, down at the bottom, and I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to put some up here at the top coming down. And I did have some white washi that I was going to use, but I wasn't thinking about the fact that I was using it on the corners where it's already white. So that kind of, defeated the purpose. I thought I'd bring in some color since, that this layout is definitely lacking in color. So I get that down. I like the way that it looks. It's just adding a little extra something because there's like a mixed media vibe in the top corner. So now I'm going to get my enamel dots. These are also from the Paper Studio. and I'm going to color match. So I'm put the, 3 yellow enamel dots in the yellow section and so on and so forth. But I try and have at least one kind of coming out of that area. Not that they're disappearing into that color, but I just thought that way it kind of was a little bit different. So I have to pull out my little bin of enamel dots because I needed one more of that little purpley pink color. And so I get those down and I mark that off. And now I think I'm done. So I'm going to share with you this little pouch. This pouch right here is all I have left for Vicki Boutin's color study. Some packaging, one cut apart, one ephemera piece, and some scraps. And yep, I will use that stuff and I will knock out another layout with it. So I'm going to show you the close-ups. I am really, really, really happy with the way this layout turned out. It is so much color, so much for your eyes to be like looking at. I mean, so much stuff piled on. This layout is heavy. So I hope you will go and check out all of the other creatives on the creative team who created with this recipe list that we received. And I hope that you will go check out the Flair Hut because they have some amazing flair and a ton of other things now. So you could check us out on Facebook. You can also check out Scrappy Adam on YouTube. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. Hope to see you again real soon. Happy scrapping.